Welcome to this week's Schreiber Council meeting. This week, Council reviewed important upgrades to the town's water treatment system, ensuring reliable service and keeping the splash pad running through the summer. There was also a proposed shift for Heritage Days, moving toward a celebration of Schreiber's railroad and Italian roots. And finally, Council voiced strong opposition to potential provincial changes that could impact locally elected school trustees. Now here's this evening's agenda.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Council and Committee of the Whole meeting for March 24th, 2026. Can I have approval of the agenda for the open session? We're all good? Nobody had on? Any disclosures of interest? Hearing none, seeing none. Delegations, and I am very sorry. I forgot to read the acknowledgement at the start. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we're in Robinson Superior Treaty Territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. So no disclosures of interest, no delegations, question period, nothing. So minutes of previous meetings. Resolution 77-26. Just wait a second. Okay. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that the minutes of the Council and Committee of the Whole meeting held March 10th, 2026 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 78-26. Moved by Councillor Bryson, second by Councillor McGrath. The Council received the Council expense and remuneration report for the year ended December 31st, 2025. All discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 79-26. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bourgeois, that the dollar value in line 8 of Resolution 198-25 be amended to read $36,519.86. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 80-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that the dollar value in line 18 of Resolution 198-25 be amended to read $293,461.96. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 81-26, moved by Councillor Morrow, second by Councillor McGrath, that council transfer to the Canada Community Building Reserve Fund, formerly named the Federal Gas Tax Reserve Fund, $68,054.76, which represents the funding received in 2025. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 82-26, moved by Councillor Morrow, second by Councillor McGrath, that council transfer to the Water Reserve $5,000 for the water treatment plant coagulant study that was budgeted in 2025 but not done. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 83-26, moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that council approved the use of the Canada Community Building Fund revenues to cover the cost of the 2025 wastewater treatment plant ESA building upgrades, and that any remaining project costs be funded through the OCIF funding. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 84-26, moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council accept the quotation from Walkerton Clean Water Center in the amount of $13,135, excluding applicable taxes, to complete the coagulant study as prescribed by MECP. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 85-26, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council accept the quotation from the Ontario Clean Water Agency in the amount of $135,600, excluding applicable taxes, for the water treatment plant filter media replacement. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 86-26, moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that council accept the quotation from Can-Am Instruments in the amount of $16,318, excluding applicable taxes, for an all-weather sampler for the influent at the wastewater treatment plant. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 87, 26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council accept the Township of Schreiber Sanitary Sewer Collection System 2025 Annual Performance Report and the Township of Schreiber Storm Sewer Management System 2025 Annual Performance Report, and that the reports be made available to the public. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 88-26, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeron. The council accept the 2025 Section 11 Annual Report for the Schreiber Drinking Water System, the 2025 Annual Summary Report for the Schreiber Drinking Water System, and the 2025 Annual Record of Water Taken Report as prepared by the Ontario Clean Water Agency on behalf of the Township of Schreiber. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 89-26, moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council accept the quotation from the Ontario Clean Water Agency in the amount of $8,500 excluding applicable taxes to complete a water financial plan for the Township of Schreiber. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 90-26, moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath. Whereas locally elected trustees provide essential community representation, and whereas rural and northern communities rely on trustees to reflect local priorities, ensure accountability, and advocate for students, and whereas proposed changes may reduce or eliminate local elected trustees, therefore be it resolved that council affirms support for maintaining elected trustees. And further, that the mayor, clerk send a joint letter to the Minister of Education and the Premier with copies to the OPSBA, Roma, AMO, and local MPPs, asking for a government pause on this issue and asking the government to commit to a full-scale, transparent, and province-wide consultation on school board governance models. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, that brings us to accounts for payment with none, unfinished business, none, other business. Bylaw 91-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, second by Councillor Bryson, that bylaw 9-2026, being a bylaw to adopt policy 01-PW-2026, significant weather event, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 92-26. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that council authorize a donation to the Heart and Stroke Foundation in the amount of $50 in memory of Elaine Lundrigan. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, that brings us to our committee of the whole portion of the meeting, department reports. Number one, CAO monthly update.
Okay. So good news in the finance department, the 2023 FIR was submitted to the ministry on March 13th. And the 2024 year end is scheduled for review by the auditors the week of April 13th to the 20th. Public Works, winter operations are still ongoing, and the guys they give a great effort to try and keep our streets and sidewalks clear. Recreation, so Throwback has been secured for Heritage Days this year. With the absence of the recreation programmer, a different type of event is in the next report to discuss. Jamie's been working with hard with a particular company regarding the high-speed internet services for Schreiber. And Cecile, of course, has been working with CGIS to try and get our cemetery mapping switched over to CGIS from Stone Orchard. Senior Center Active Living Fair, it was a huge success. Even though the weather did not cooperate and a lot of the speakers could not attend that day, it was still a great effort and a great time, I think, for everybody. And as we prepare to attend OCWA, promoting the township is going to be the top priority, and preparation has begun for 2 special events that were, one has been advertised yesterday for the public, and that's it. Questions?
Okay, number 2, CAO report on Heritage Days 2026.
Okay, so with the absence of the recreation programmer and Heritage Days fast approaching for the planning stages, I have put like a tentative kind of schedule for a different type of event this year, rather than doing like an actual carnival with the castles and everything. I was thinking about bringing it back to what heritage actually means and talk about, celebrate the history of Schreiber with the Italian Schreiberians that are here and have formed our community, and the railroad, of course. I'd like to talk to Andre Hanush from CP and see if we could work something out with them. So without a recreation programmer, I can't physically do anything. So I'll have to talk to one of the union employees, but also too, we have the recreation committee, and possibly maybe the seniors committee could help out again a little bit if council was okay with what we're proposing here. Well, just on a note, while we were at the Thunder Bay District Municipal League conference, Jessica Jeremchuk did a presentation to everybody, the delegates, regarding municipal liability. And bouncy castles was one of the big things that she had talked about. So I did include some of the information that she had provided. They're saying that for those events that we should be having waivers signed by parents, and they have to be individual to that particular event, outlining what could happen to you or your child if they participate.
I guess we should sign a waiver before getting in that dunk tank, eh, Dave?
So has the library's book, You're on the Right Track, is that for sale now?
It is actually for $7. It's crazy. I saw it the other day when I was in there, and I couldn't believe, it's like, why is this not known? I don't know. unless other people knew it and I just didn't, but I don't know who wrote it. But
Do you know, Dave?
No.
But
I think it, like to CO's idea about like making that a centerpiece and being able to sell more of those books, I think would be awesome. Do you think lots of people have them and I just don't know about it? I've never heard about it.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you.
do you know, Kim, any history of the book?
If I'm not mistaken, I just can't remember his name offhand, but he comes down and does a presentation every year with his little slideshow where he talks about the history of the railroad. And
Bill Shrupnick.
that's it. I'm thinking it was Bill, yeah. Great historian, and it's a really good book. It's funny that it isn't around more, but
Mm.
He's actually, he has a few books out
Excuse me.
that are circulating.
Well, it looks to me like, I mean, when I talk to Recreation Committee, I suppose, and I think involving the Historical Committee, but really, the only thing you're really changing is the fair downtown into an Italian festival,
Mhm.
right? And making it more about, you talk to the railroad and get them involved, or whoever's in charge of this. I think it's a good change.
Yeah. As long as there's something to keep the kids down there for an extended period of time so that people go to the vendors and stuff like that. That's,
Oh, no, there will be,
Yeah.
there'll be games like
Okay.
set up for,
that would
so-
be my only thing.
Yeah.
yeah, we're kind of actually researching online what kind of games, Italian children traditionally would play, just to,
No, I agree with it if you get everybody on board with it kind of right away, because that we're gonna need that right away, and you get the buy-in from your committees, the committees that you guys have just previously mentioned. See where it goes. I mean,
Even Discovery Center, maybe we have tours of the Discovery Center like we did for the ship people. People seem to really enjoy that, like walk tour through, rather than just go see it.
yeah.
People really seem to enjoy that. A lot of people from the ship are like, holy man.
yeah, I mean, try and advertise narrated tour of the museum just for that weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I don't expect all summer.
No, but you know what?
just,
That would be
just for
good.
that, maybe even just one day, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just something to
It's just,
maybe draw, even if you draw 10 more people to town.
we got to get
Who knows?
sponsorship letters out and
Yeah.
contact vendors, so.
Yeah, maybe we get Parks Canada to help us out a little bit too.
Mhm.
Maybe do something at the beach, bonfire or whatever.
Yep.
Storytelling.
Storytelling, I like that.
Yeah, they've done it in the past and I love it.
Yeah,
They do a good job.
and you got do your sponsorship. Don't forget Pell Chase Gaspar.
Yep.
He nailed me. Anybody else got any thoughts?
No, I think it would be just as busy if it's the same weekend as the ball tournament.
Yeah.
It is, I confirm,
Yeah, so.
with Mario,
Yeah.
so.
Had the same band as last year, that went over really well. It was well attended. Everybody enjoyed it.
mm,
Okay. Moving ahead with Director of Operations report the aqua filter media.
So this report is just to answer the questions that council had from last meeting. So the first question had to do with making sure that the project was going to be complete in June 2026. What we've found out is the procurement process that Aqua follows is kind of an 8-week process. And by the time we get into our melt with the amount of snow that we have out here, it likely won't be, the turnover probably won't be complete until the end of May or maybe even into June, depending on how the spring thaw goes. However, when Walkerton Clean Water is here to do their lab work. They're going to be using their replica. It's not going to be going through our system in June. They want to be on site more about getting the raw water to put through the paces with their experiment, rather than having the raw water shipped to their lab. So they just want to make sure that it's going to, that there's no changes happening to the raw water in transportation. So once they are done their lab work, then they have to put a report together for council. So we probably will not be ready to put the new chemical through the physical plant until August is more of a likely time frame. So we'll have the filters completed for sure by that time. The other question was, what was the managed to, oh yeah, they wouldn't be out of service during the spring turnover. So they definitely, they have two objectives. One is not going to be having any filters offline during the spring turnover. They have to remain all 5 of them in operation. But then Patrick also brought up that when he does start the filters, he kind of wants to do them as closely as possible, so that he minimizes the possibility of an extended upset to the, caused by the maintenance procedure. So he's putting a lot of thought into this to make sure that it goes off without a hitch. One thing to note is once we change the media, it's not a fast process. Once we change the media and we go to put it back in service, we have to super chlorinate the filter and isolate it for 24 hours. And then samples need to be taken, sent to the lab. The turnaround at the lab is 48 hours before we can even think about putting it back online. So it's quite a process. And the last question was to make sure that the travel cost was included, and I have been assured that the $12,000 for the Marmon technician includes the accommodations and travel.
Okay, I got a question for you, Tammy. So do you think that the splash park will run on 2 filters, 3 filters?
I do. When we modified the hours of operation last year, that made a huge impact on the water usage that the splash park was consuming. So I believe that we'll be okay with the splash pad running while we're doing this work.
No, I mean, us as adults can kind of understand it, but I mean, if we can work around it, because the kids sure as heck won't understand why the splash park is not running. So let's try everything we can do to, like I understand the spring runoff, but we got to try and keep the splash park running to the 2.5 months that it is open.
Yeah, I don't see a problem.
Okay, and maybe ask Patrick, see what his thoughts are. Appreciate that. Okay.
So Tammy, at the last meeting, one of our big concerns was that they were doing this coagulant study before we were able to do the filter change. But it sounds to me now like that's not a concern. We're still okay to go ahead with this.
So we do absolutely need to have the filters operating at specs before the new coagulant is introduced to the plant. That window has opened a little bit. It's not June. We're looking at probably realistically August.
Okay.
Before we're actually physically adding the new chemical.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions? No? Okay. Director of Operations report the emergency evacuation plans.
So every year we have to review the evacuation plans for all of our facilities. Most of them have remained unchanged. The one that has seen the most significant change would be the recreation complex emergency evacuation plan. And what we've done is, rather than an evacuation based only on fire, we've added other types of emergencies that would require an evacuation. So that plan has seen the most changes, but all of this has also been run through the Joint Health and Safety Committee, and they've approved it at their level. So this is council's opportunity to approve them at this stage. And once you approve them, then we'll have Fire Chief Morrison sign each of the plans.
Okay, I have one question. And it's on page 12. And dealing with chemical spill emergency. So where is the spill containment and security equipment stored? Because it's blank here.
I'm just getting to the page here, sorry. The spill kit is, they actually have spill kits at the arena, and so does Public Works. So we have it supplied, so it's available, and at the arena, they store them in the furnace room, and they also have some in their tool room there behind their office, so that they're available.
Okay. So just going down that page, the person discovering the spill shall notify the facility operator. And then it says cashier, but I don't really understand that, what that means, cashier. And an emergency coordinator. Who is the emergency coordinator?
Sorry, what number are you looking
I'm
at?
still on page 12, just going down from on the chemical spill emergency, when a major chemical spill has occurred.
Okay, cashier is obviously a mistake. I was using another plan to help us determine what should be in these plans.
Okay.
So I'll fix that. And the emergency coordinator would be management, because we would be notified right away if there was something happening. So whichever manager arrives on site, whether that be me or Rhonda, we would take charge.
Okay. All right, that's all I have.
I just have one question, Tim. And when it says in here, once council's approved these, so then our fire chief will sign off. The fire chief was consulted when you updated this plan, though, before we were approving it, right?
Yeah, we talked about it before it went to Joint Health and Safety.
Okay.
And then, of course, Jan is also part of the Joint Health and Safety Committee.
Okay.
So you want to sign off, you want us to sign off on it tonight, Tammy?
Yeah, like you'll accept them as approved, and then we'll proceed administratively with them after that.
So then you need us to approve them as amended with the changes that Councillor McGrath has put through, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, we can approve the plans as amended.
Yeah.
For tonight?
Mhm.
Tonight?
Mhm.
Okay. Schreiber Steering Committee minutes.
So we had our first steering committee meeting. It was well attended and went very well. We reviewed the terms of reference, and the project description. And we just talked a little bit about, well, it's number 5 and 6. We'll make that information public and post it to inform the public as we approach those dates.
Okay. Number 6, Occupational Health and Safety Committee meeting minutes. January 27th.
Yeah, those are pretty straightforward. We reviewed all of our monthly workplace inspections, and we reviewed some of the changes made to the act in regards to washroom cleaning. We reviewed some of the incident reports that came in during that period, and we used those opportunities as learning opportunities in near misses. And the evacuation plans were reviewed. Any questions?
Any updates on the workplace inspections?
The emergency lights at the municipal office have been replaced. The doors at the public library actually were repaired today. We've ordered all of our AED supplies to replace the expired components. And the emergency light at the Public Works garage was also replaced. And the Trans-Canada Safety was in to do inspections at the old fire hall. And they've also completed an inspection at the harvest cupboard. So all fire extinguishers are now current.
Thanks, Tammy.
Any other questions? Hearing none, seeing none. Number 7, Schreiber Fire Department activity report. September and October, you may as well go through them all in November and December too, yeah?
Fairly self-explanatory. Obviously, when you go to the end of December, the call volume in 2025 was 80, which is second year in a row it's come down.
It's come down?
It's come down, yeah, from a high of, I think, 109, 110 2 years ago.
Okay.
I guess it was 107 last year, Jen, so that, it really has come down.
It has.
Yeah.
Some of that is a quieter highway right now during the constructions that's going on. The other one that's worth mentioning is the number of fires, where we were having 6 or 7 in previous years per year. We had a rare year where we had 0 finally in 2025. At least ones that caused a loss to a structure.
Yeah,
So
that's great. Just one question on the commercial burn. That 3 calls resulted from a commercial burn. What
Yes.
was that all about?
now that was the brush pile at the mining, the strip mining that's going on down by
We talked about that earlier.
Hayes Lake Road. Yes.
So who pays for that?
Well, unfortunately, that is in Terrace Bay Township there.
So do they,
So they did not have a permit system for commercial burns.
okay, so, but because the fire departments were called out and it's a commercial burn, who pays for it?
And unfortunately, we have been for our responses on that. Because Terrace Bay doesn't have a bylaw.
But going
actually
forward, they will,
there's supposed to be action.
okay, so now, that way you can recover costs.
Yes.
Okay.
Had that been in the township of Schreiber,
Yeah.
I would have chased,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Thanks, Jim.
Any other questions for Jan? Or?
It's good. Way down, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Okay, thanks, John. Move right into communications then.
One of the councillors has mentioned that the Thunder Bay DSAB board newsletter is missing some links. So I will open those up and send those to you.
Okay, so there is a problem with the links?
Yeah.
It wasn't just me?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we still have a historical society?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a request for support here about the grants that's available to historical societies, number 6. They're asking for it to be increased. I think that's what I read there.
I think we could support that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then number 8, we've looked at that one. Comprehensive review of prevention municipal framework. And it deals with
Quit downloading.
what's that?
Quit downloading stuff. Oh,
Yeah, basically that's
Yeah.
it, yeah.
please stop downloading.
Yeah, so, I don't know, might be one we could support as well.
Yeah,
Is that a lot of work for you, Rhonda? Okay. Delegate.
Yeah.
All right.
no other suggestions? Okay, hearing nothing more, we have no unfinished business and we have no other business, so it brings us to the end of the meeting. Resolution 93-26, moved by Councilor Bourgeois, seconded by Councilor Morrow, that the meeting will end at 7:42 p.m. All those in favor? Carried.